The Guards' Barracks at Corrinshigo. It seems now that 1950s Ireland was like one long, dreary, wet winter's evening. It was on one of those evenings, long ago, that I remember waiting outside the barrack door, me and my brother Donal. It was raining, but we hadn't come very far. We lived in the adjoining Sergeant's Mary quarters of the Guards' Barracks in Corrinshigo. The barracks was just south of Cullaville on the Monaghan-Armagh border. This large two-storey building was home for more than a dozen young guards on temporary border duty. My dad was the sergeant in charge. My mum, me, Donal, and three younger siblings, Pádraig, Maura and Declan, with my Aunt Mamie, were the only civilians to live in the barracks. It was 1959. I was 6 and Donal was 5. We were waiting at the front door of the barracks for the guard on barrack orderly duty to let us in. When he opened the door in his serge blue guard's uniform, we scuttled past him and over to the chairs in front of the television in the day room. We loved the television, and this, as far as we knew, was the only set in the district, and it was in the Guards' Barracks in Corrinshigo. As the sergeant's kids, we had special access to this wonderful contraption, the TV, on a Saturday afternoon at 5 for half an hour. We had just arrived to avail of that privilege. As we settled ourselves on our chairs, the last of Grandstand, a weekly sports programme, was nearing its end on the BBC. Our patience was sorely tried each week, waiting while the sports presenter gave out endless soccer results. I can hear them being recited even now. Norwich City 1, Everton 2, Notts County 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. By the time the closing credits of Grandstand appeared, we had another problem. The TV screen had become a snowy haze. We didn't panic, because we knew the guard could sort it out. We knew from experience that it was just a matter of him taking out some of the dead cowboys that had accumulated in the back of the TV during the week. And sure enough, as he emerged from the back, picture clarity returned. He confirmed to us, "All cleared away, lads. Loads of dead cowboys back there." The program we were there to watch was The Lone Ranger. It was a long-running TV western, first screened in the United States in 1949. It was now being shown on the BBC. The Lone Ranger was an iconic figure in the then burgeoning screen mythology about the old American West. He was a fictional cowboy who disguised himself with a mask and went about the Old West doing heroic deeds. We loved the show and watched it each week in the day room of the Corrinshigo's Guards' Barracks. As the show started, its theme music, the March of the Swiss Soldiers from Rossini's William Tell overture, fired up our emotions. The masked man filled the screen, shooting his white-handled 6 guns as he galloped across the screen on Silver, his mighty stallion. The drizzle on the windows, the movements of the guard making tea, the crackle of the open fire in the corner of the barrack room all faded away as we transported ourselves to another world with the Lone Ranger and his American Indian companion, Tonto. The plot of the program every week didn't really mean much to us. It was clear that there were people in distress, and they looked worried. There was conversation, scuffles and shooting, none of which we could really follow, with scruffy men that seemed to be causing problems for everyone. Our focus was on the Lone Ranger when he began to sort things out. We loved his mask, his marvelous white horse, and all the lovely gear he wore, his wide-rimmed white cowboy hat, and the 2 lovely handguns on his hips, sitting in such nifty holsters. We imagined how good it would be to wear that garb, to ride on that white horse, to feel our feet in the stirrups and our bums in the saddle, to shoot those guns, and to be lauded and applauded by all. Predictability was crucial for our enjoyment as we looked forward to the usual closing sequence of the program. Each week, the Lone Ranger would confront the bad men, shoot their guns out of their hands, and restore a smile to the faces of the good people of the town. For Donal and me, this was such an enjoyable, familiar, satisfying, and emotionally powerful tale. Outside the barrack door, Donal asked me the question posed to the sheriff at the end of the show each week. Who was that masked man? Summoning the sheriff's reverential tone, I said, "That's the Lone Ranger." Then, like our hero riding to another adventure, we both shouted, "Hi-ho, Silver, away!" and galloped our imaginary horses through the drizzling rain of that 1950s winter evening, all the way home.